Some of the world's toughest and most feared prisons lie within the country of China, and this is most definitely one place you do not want to end up incarcerated. Today we're diving inside 10 of China's most dangerous prisons. Don't forget to comment down below, I do read every single comment. Number 10, Beijing Municipal Number 1 Prison. Located in eastern Beijing, this prison is operated by the Beijing Municipal Public Security Bureau. Being in close proximity to Beijing Capital International Airport, this prison often holds Western inmates either facing deportation or those who are due shortly for release. The prison holds or has held several notable inmates, including Zhang Tilanqiao, convicted of aggravating with a sentence of 6 years. Another notable inmate inside this prison is the former inspector of the Department of Treaty and Law of the Ministry of Commerce, Gao Jingwei, jailed on suspicion of accepting bribes. Known as the Qunchang knitting mill, this prison produces nylon socks for domestic and foreign markets and includes a construction plant, sewing factory and a plastic manufacturing centre. Don't let the upgraded work facilities fool you, as this is one of the city's worst prisons, with inmates often held 12 to a cell and most are made to chant communist slogans on a daily basis. Prisoners have alleged that forced confessions often take place at the prison, and those not conforming to the rules are regularly placed in solitary confinements, sometimes for months on end. Number 9, Dongguang Prison. Located in the Shillong area of Dongguang, Guangdong, China, Dongguang Prison opened in November 1988 as Shillong Prison, and the name change was announced in 1955. Expanded in size over the subsequent decades, the prison now occupies most of the Xinhao Island in the East River. With the current population of around 5,000 inmates, reports state that nearly 500 of the prisoners were foreigners from various countries. Prisoners held here are forced to work regimes with alleged beatings routinely taking place. Inmates are reportedly beaten, tasered or put in solitary confinement for failing to achieve production targets on items such as disposable headwear for several major airlines. Overcrowding living conditions and sweltering heat in the summertime join forces to make this one of the most unpleasant places to spend time in China. Notable prisoners of this facility include musician Chen Meng, Australian businessman James Peng Jingdong, and Lau Chin-hing, a Hong Kong internet personality. Number 8, Municipal Prison Number 2. There is only one place worse than Beijing's Municipal Prison Number 1, and that is the feared Municipal Number 2 prison that was established in 1950. British national Ian Stones was convicted of espionage by China in 2022 in a secret trial and was held at this facility for several months before being moved to another facility. Designated as a pre-trial detention centre, the Number 2 prison appears to be a hole that China throws the majority of its foreign inmates into that have been accused of convicted of spying. Nicknamed the Sunshine Detention Centre, former inmates have revealed that the Number 2 prison is a horror show. Inmates are often forced to take part in education programs for newcomers, and inmates undergo regular brainwashing days. Some cells are reportedly have no beds, with inmates forced to sleep on floorboards, and holes in the ground act as solitary confinement cells. Beijing's feared Ministry of State Security often interrogates prisoners at the facility, and the tight security at the prison means that only a handful of condition reports have ever made it out. Number 7, Beijing Women's Prison. Sitting in the Daxing district of Beijing, this prison houses nearly 1,000 female prisoners and is currently the only prison in the city for female inmates. Sitting on 4 acres of land, the prison runs a manufacturing centre where over 24,000 prison uniforms are made each year. The prison became known for its violent history over the years, with many inmates imprisoned and tortured simply for their religious beliefs. Number 6, Stanley Prison. One of 6 maximum security facilities located in Hong Kong, Stanley Prison is the oldest facility still in operation, having been built in 1937. Administered by the Correctional Services Department, the prison sits behind an 18-foot wall and was constructed into 6 cell blocks with a capacity capacity for 1,500 prisoners. Stanley Prison was once the site of executions before Hong Kong officially abolished the death penalty, yet this may now have been revoked with China's acquisition of the territory. Time of its construction, the prison was considered to be one of the finest prisons in the British Empire and had over 800 staff and officers. Conditions have deteriorated over recent years, and hundreds of prisoners are reportedly kept in tiny cells, with many only allowed out briefly for one shower per day. Heat waves cause the cells to turn into small ovens, and inmates are often forced to pour water on their beds just to sleep, and heat torture has been used to make some prisoners confess to crimes they may not have committed. Number 5. La Chi Reception Centre. Another infamous correctional facility located in Hong Kong, La Chi was established in 1977 and sits on Butterfly Valley Road. Having a prisoner capacity of 1,484, it is one of the biggest on-remand centres in the city, and overcrowding has been described as a major problem. Hundreds of prisoners have been added to the population over recent years, mainly due to the 2019 protests against the Chinese government. Number 4. Peacock Correctional Institution. Located at 399 Clearwater Bay Road, Hong Kong, Peacock Correctional Institution was constructed in 1955 and houses both young male prisoners on remand and those serving full sentences. The prison has some of the tightest security measures in the city, with underfloor cameras checking vehicles, an array of metal detectors and secure doors. Once home to Umbrella Movement leader Joshua Wong Chi-fung, the prison is known for its control of inmates, and many have told of tales of its terror. Number 3. Urumqi Number 3 Prison. Currently the largest detention centre in Xinjiang, Urumqi Number 3 could also be the largest prison in the world, sitting at over 220 acres. Considered to have an inmate capacity of around 10,000, the complex is twice as large as the Vatican City and houses many religious prisoners in pre-trial detention. Surrounded by brutal barbed wire fences and armed guards, behind the walls of this imposing facility, you will find training camps designed to brainwash the minorities in vocational education centres. Often thrown into detention for things like going abroad or attending religious gatherings, many detainees at this prison have not even committed any crimes. Officials deny anyone is being held at the facility on false charges, and the recent inclusion of an electric fence has only added to security at the site. Number 2. Qunchang Prison. Home to many political prisoners within the country, Qunchang Prison is also home to many of the Chinese democracy movement and Tiananmen Square protest prisoners from 1989. Famous former inmates include Li Ru, Jiang Qing, Yang Geng, Bao Tong, Dai Qing, as well as Tibetan figures such as the 10th Panchen Lama. More recently, many officials, some high-ranking, that have been accused of corruption, have been held at this facility. Located in the eastern foothills of Yanshan, facing the North China Plains, the prison was known as Project Number 156 when it was built, and forced labour is the main form of work. All prisoners to the prison must pass through 3 layers of security, including 3 heavily guarded gates, and many prisoners died as a result of abuse and torture during the Cultural Revolution. Prison is thought to be currently the most secure in the country. Number 1. Tilanqiao Prison. Formerly known as the Ward Roud Jail, this prison was originally built in the foreign-controlled Shanghai International Settlement following the Chinese Communist Revolution and was run by the Ministry of Public Security. Throughout the first years of its life, it was recognized as the largest prison in the world and earned the nickname the Alcatraz of the Orient. Built to hold those convicted of crimes in Shanghai's international settlement, the prison comprises 450 cells across 2 4-story blocks and was expanded in 1911. Allegations of torture and ill-treatment towards high-profile prisoners was rife, and it was also once named the Shanghai People's Prison. Prison became so infamous in the city that mothers in Shanghai threatened to send their children there if they misbehaved. High walls, imposing guard tower, and a double electric fence all prevented inmates all of whom were serving sentences of 10 years or more, and some even on death row from escaping. Overcrowding, forced labour, and extremely small cells were the norm, with forced confessions often taking place within its walls. Today the prison is closed and has become a tourist attraction for locals and visitors to the country. Thanks for watching this video on the top 10 worst prisons in the People's Republic of China. Please comment down below if you think I missed anywhere and like the video so more people see it. If you want to see more prison style content in the future, we would love if you could hit the subscribe button to help us on our road to 1 million subscribers.